Welcome to the 33rd graduation exercises of Sussex County Community College. My name is John Connolly. I'm the president of Sussex County Community College. Please allow me to welcome today's speakers, Associate Professor of Psychology, Rich Linden, and today's student speaker and SGA President, Ileana Woodhull. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present William P. Curcio, Chair of the Board of Trustees.
I am William Curcio, Chair of the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to congratulate you on your successful completion of your educational journey here at Sussex County Community College. Certainly, this has been a most unusual year, filled with the challenges of interrupted and remote learning, lack of club activities, and the delayed sport events. And, of course, missing the interactions with your classmates and professors. The Board of Trustees is proud of your accomplishments. Thank you for your perseverance, understanding, and dedication in the completion of your education. Martin Luther King stated, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensely and to think critically. Intelligence plus character." The trustees' goal is to provide you with the environment that allowed you to think intelligently and critically and build your own unique character. However, your educational journey has just commenced, and we hope that we have provided you with a pathway of learning, achieving, and succeeding in the years ahead. Thank you to our students and to the support of your families, spouses, and friends. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Sussex County Commissioner Director, Ms. Dawn Fantasia.
Greetings, and thank you to the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees, to Dr. John Connolly, to the faculty and staff for providing me the opportunity to address the graduates and their families and loved ones on behalf of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners. We are pleased to support the efforts of the college to remain a relevant, valuable, and critical asset to our community, teaching the next generation of leaders to lead. The college has grown tremendously in its academic and career programs and has maintained solid enrollment, no small feat for what we affectionately refer to as Harvard on the Hill here in beautiful Sussex County. It seems just like yesterday it was August, and we were starting the year with fresh excitement, ready to take on all of the challenges a new year brings. And in the true spirit of Sussex County Community College, this year has been one of tremendous and unprecedented challenges and at times hardships, but also one of tremendous growth and grit. And all students and families and staff members played a part in your collective success. Now it's May, and you've worked hard, and you've made it to the finish line. For the graduates, this is such an exciting time in your life. Whether you are headed to continue your education or to directly enter the workforce, the next years will pose new challenges for you as you are faced with more rigorous classes or employment opportunities, where you will learn and grow. In your time here at the college, maybe you focused more on your academics, maybe you were more involved in sports or the arts or community service, or maybe you had to juggle the responsibilities of balancing work and family as you continued to pursue your educational goals. The important thing to remember is that regardless of any challenges, you chart your own course. You will all start with a clean slate next year. You'll reinvent yourself in any way you choose, in each and every opportunity, with people you have yet to meet. The best advice I can offer is to embrace all that is offered to you. Take full advantage of a variety of experiences so that you can discover your gifts and talents and what you are passionate about. Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you higher. Don't be afraid. Take chances and try something new. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, and nothing worth having ever comes easy or free. I am truly honored to be part of such an intelligent, creative, and talented school community. You have made your families and loved ones proud, but most of all, you have made the most important person in your life proud, and that person is you. Your graduation today is evidence that you have invested in yourself. I want every student to know that you are somebody's reason to smile. You have also made my time serving in my capacity on the Board of Commissioners unforgettable. And many times, when I've been briefed on the growth and the evolution of this institution and all of your accomplishments, you have been my reason to smile. The board is looking forward to hearing about your successes in the years to come, and we wish the graduates much happiness and success as you enter this next stage of your lives. We are so proud of you. Remember that we are a family, and you will always have a home here. I'm going to close with the words of Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. You cannot dream of becoming something you do not know about. You have to learn to dream big. Education exposes you to what the world has to offer and the opportunities and possibilities open to you. So congratulations again to all of our graduates, and thank you for letting me be a small part of celebrating your success. Stay safe, God bless, and keep the faith in yourself. You will move mountains.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce Senator Cory Booker with a special message.
Sussex County Community College, class of 2021, class of grit and guts, class of greatness. I just want you all to know how proud I am of you, how excited I am for you, and how grateful I am for you and your families, for your teachers and the staff, in fact, for the entire community who came together over a good period of time to make this day possible. And we know this day has been unlike any other graduation days that we have known for generations. We are in the midst of a global pandemic that has affected every one of your lives, made the challenges you faced harder, made the work even more difficult, tested you in ways that you probably never imagined you would be tested. And all of you, by your presence here today, have shown that you have passed the test. You have made the muster. You have told the world that you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond. Thank you. You all are lights in a dark time and reason to celebrate, even amidst a year of extraordinary pain. Now, I have a moment in history that I love. It was when President Lincoln was giving his second inaugural address. Remember, our country is fractured. We are in yet another national crisis. He gives this speech where he talks about the highest of human values. It's a speech in which he said, with malice towards none and charity towards all. But what I love about that speech is afterwards he goes back to a reception, and it is said by historians that he was looking for his friend, the only black man, I believe, that was actually in the reception. He was a man of regal stature and great, great national prominence, and he was standing off to the side, and he was found by Lincoln eventually. He was being pulled upon by other people, and here Abraham Lincoln and this black man had a conversation, and Lincoln said, "My friend, I need to know what you thought of my speech." And this man, regal in stature, humble in nature, said, "Mr. President, attend to your other guests." He goes, No, I must know what you thought of my speech." Now, this would be the last time in American history that these two men would talk to each other. President Lincoln waited for the response. And the great Frederick Douglass said this to the President of the United States: "Mr. President, it was a sacred effort. A sacred effort." Class of 2021, this nation needs your sacred effort. We are at a time where we do have divisions. We need to unite people. We are at a time that there are too many struggling and in pain. We need people to be healers. We're at a time where meanness is celebrated with bravado. Cruelty in statements, in words, on social media is ubiquitous. We need your light and your love and your decency. Class of 2021, I am so proud of you. You are the class of grit and greatness. Give forth your sacred effort. Help to heal this world. Help to have us all rise up to be the highest of humanity. Thank you. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best.
It's a tradition here at Sussex County Community College that each year at the graduation exercises, the college invites one faculty member to speak to the students. It's my great pleasure today to introduce Associate Professor of Psychology, Rich Linden.
Hello, and Dr. Connolly, thank you so much for introducing me. One more time, my name is Rich Linden. I'm a psychology professor at the college, and I am your faculty speaker this year. And I would like to start by welcoming the graduates, family, friends, and all of the honored guests. This is the second time I've spoken as a faculty representative for SCCC. The first time was approximately 30 years ago when we had a graduating class of maybe 15 or so. And here we are 30-something years later, and we have hundreds of students graduating. You know, the standard advice on how to give a good graduation speech is to keep it short, compliment the graduates, and maybe give one or two words of advice. Well, I promise you, I will keep it short. I will compliment you numerous times, and in terms of words of advice, we'll see how that goes. In putting this together, one of the things that really struck me was, and this was a student of mine who is graduating today, Nicole Verga. She and I were talking on Canvas Conference right before class, and she said, you know what? 3 of my 4 semesters at SCCC have been spent learning remotely. And that got me to thinking. You know, she's a traditional high school graduate, graduated a couple of years ago from high school, and that really kind of gave me pause. And it got me thinking about what this experience has been like over the last 14 months for you, our graduates. And wondering also about what you're going to take away from the last 14 months of the experience of COVID. To say that every generation has a unique challenge, that's a cliche. But though it's a cliche, it's true. Even in non-COVID times, pre-COVID times, there are certain challenges that graduates face as they go through college and begin to plan for the future. But for you, there have been additional sacrifices and additional challenges that have been involved. And I want to talk about some of those today, and I want to ask you to reflect on some of those today. Think about all of the words and all of the terminology we've learned in the last 14 months. I throw around terms, like I'm sure you do, about infection rates and oxygen levels. And to me, a year and a half ago, the word Moderna or Pfizer had no meaning whatsoever. I mean, I knew Pfizer was a pharmaceutical company, but that was it. And here we are learning a new language, the language of the last almost year and a half of our lives. I think about how many times I've had to walk back to my car before going into a store because I was about to enter the store without a mask on. And I was talking about this with some of my students recently, and there was a consensus that it doesn't matter what your age is. This is part of the experience, is we still haven't internalized the mask wearing yet, and may we be over it soon. The past months for you, the graduates, have taken a special kind of determination and courage. Think about the challenges that you've faced in the last 14 months. And think about the challenges that your friends and family have also faced in the last 14 months. The ones who have done their best in spite of these difficult times to encourage you and to support you and to honor your goals and your dreams. COVID has created a lot of anxieties. Speaking for myself, I have worried and been concerned about things over the past 14 months that were really not blips on my radar, my personal radar, prior to that. We have all felt some amount of isolation, of vulnerability. Many of us have been concerned about our jobs, and for many college students, and those of you graduating today, there's been the additional concerns about planning for your future. Do you take some time off? Do you persevere and just keep on plugging away college-wise? Some students have delayed going to a dorm school specifically because of the realities of COVID. And these are things that you have all been facing, as well as your friends and your family. And it's been a difficult journey at times, hasn't it? Some of you, the graduates today, have been ill with COVID. Many of you have had family members who have developed COVID. And let us never forget, sadly, that too many of us have lost people we love because of COVID. But here you are. In spite of it all, here you are. You're here today and you are graduating. You're about to graduate and then do whatever comes next in your life. And so let's think a little bit about how you've done this, how you've succeeded, why you're here today. Last summer, I read a wonderful book. Every summer, I put together my summer reading list. And I read a wonderful book by a psychologist named Angela Duckworth. And the name of that book is Grit. And what she explores in that book are the factors that shape success in our lives. And not just academic success, not just business success, but in a broader sense. What are the factors in us that we can rely on to succeed as we go on this life journey? Part of what Duckworth argues, and I'm inclined personally to agree with her, is that intelligence and IQ scores are not the most important thing. There's something far more important than how you score on the SATs or your academic standing when you were in high school. What counts is passion and perseverance. The willingness to get your hands dirty, the willingness to put in time and energy every day toward whatever your goals are. And that's what she means by grit, the willingness to get it done, to get the job done. And that doesn't mean that every day we're perfect when it comes to having those qualities. In the past 14 months, our energies shift. I'm sure for the graduates, there are days you've had a lot more energy to work on what you want to work on, and other days when it's been much harder to access that energy. But here you are. You've got it done. You've succeeded. You've opened the pathway now to whatever is going to come next in your life. In spite of all of the noise of the last 14 months of our lives, here you are. And so grit is what got you here. And I want to ask you to do something which a lot of people find uncomfortable. I'd like you to silently for a moment honor yourself. I'd like you to think about the grit that you've shown to be able to be here graduating today. This is not business as usual. You are the first in over 100 years in America to face what today is COVID and what a century ago was the Spanish flu. This is a unique circumstance. So honor yourself. And then I'd like to ask you to do a second thing. I'd like you, in your mind right now, to honor all of the people who have helped you on this journey. Your family, your friends, perhaps a professor here and there. All of the folks who have helped you bring yourself to this graduation today. And with those folks, tell them how you feel. Let them know. We all need to hear that, and we all need to hear that, especially during challenging times like this. So I've just got another minute or so, because I promised you I was going to keep it short. I'd like to say that the faculty that I represent, the faculty from this college, we all have a great deal of respect for you. And I have always had that respect for my students, but I need to be honest and share with you that my level of respect for my students facing the challenges of the current world has gone off the top end of the charts. Many of you have been taking care of little children while you're also trying to multitask on a Canvas conference or Zoom classroom. We know that some of you have struggled with jobs and housing. We know that many of you have taken care of ill family members. But once again, here you are. So yes, it's been a time of crisis and challenge. The word crisis is a really interesting word in psychology. Crisis has a dual meaning. It means danger, but it also means opportunity. You, the graduates, have been faced with some dangers and challenges, but you took the opportunity to make it work. You found your grit, and here you are. We, the faculty of Sussex County Community College, salute you, and we recognize you. Go and do good work. Thank you.
We are honored this year to welcome the student spokesperson from the class of 2021, Ileana Woodhull.
Thank you very much, Dr. O'Kay. Good afternoon. It is my honor to deliver the commencement address for the graduating class of 2021. Students, families, faculty, and staff, welcome to this beautiful graduation day at Sussex County Community College. I would like to take a moment to honor our loved ones whom we lost to COVID-19. I want to start by thanking our staff and faculty. Thank you for allowing us and helping us to reach our graduation day. We, the graduates, are the result of all your hard work. Every one of you has impacted the graduates who are here today. We couldn't have done it without you. And to our families, thank you for all of your support, mentally and financially. I want to take this time to thank my family for their unconditional support, and especially my husband. Thank you, sweetheart, for allowing me to be a student for this past 2 years, and for taking care of our home while I was being a student, doing homework, and for taking care of the food. A mi mamá, gracias por tu apoyo y por esa gran fe que tienes en mí. To my mom, thank you for your support and for having so much faith in me. And to my daughter, Angel, thank you for being my biggest inspiration and for believing in me. Being in school with you has been and will be an unforgettable experience. And today, we graduate together, so how cool is that? Although this is not how we picture our graduation to be, we should feel special. We endured a pandemic that had us stuck at home to learn in front of a computer. And guess what? Our professors became students as well. They too had to learn how to teach us remotely. And I bet they drove their families crazy too, just as much as we did ours. But you see, although this pandemic shut the doors to our classrooms, it did not close the communication between our professors and us. And that is the reason why we are standing here today, because of their hard work and support. I remember my first day at SCCC. I even yelled at my husband for letting me do what I thought was a big mistake. I often wondered if I would even make it through my first semester. I was scared and full of doubts. I'm sure some of you probably felt the same way, but guess what? You didn't give up, and neither did I. Being here today is such a great achievement, not just for all of us, for our professors too. You see, for me, as a Mexican woman, this is extremely rare in my culture. Not a lot of women have the opportunity to continue their education. Although some of them might want to, they were taught to stay at home and take care of their family. Sorry, honey. I can proudly say that I am the first woman in my family to earn a degree, along with my beautiful daughter. Like me, some of you might be first generation as well. And believe me, your family is proud and filled with joy. Your parents had to make sacrifices to see that you continued with your education. And like them, you did too. Some of you had to commute your first 2 years. Some of you stayed up late doing homework because you had to work in order to pay for your tuition. You probably had to cancel plans with friends so that you could finish that 15-page research paper. Some of you might have lost your jobs due to the pandemic and had to ask your parents for help. Some of you are international students and had to adjust to a new country, a different language, and while being away from your family and friends. But you all pushed through, and here you are. So you should be proud of yourselves because today you walk out of here with a degree COVID-19 wanted to extend and rob us from and keep us away from our college. My mom has always told me, Ileana, nunca dejes de soñar. And today, I pass those same words to you. Never stop dreaming, because everything in life is possible. Yes, you would fail at some things, but use those failures as lessons. Celebrate those failures because they are teaching you to try again and not make the same mistakes again. If you don't fail, you are not learning. Never be afraid to make mistakes because those mistakes can lead you to do great things. I have always doubted myself, and I was always afraid of making mistakes. But I learned here at SCCC, my second home, has made those fears go away. I have learned not to be afraid to ask questions, and I'm sure all of my professors can attest to that. I have learned to seek help when I don't understand something, and I do not give up. Alison Kokash taught me a valuable lesson, the lesson to appreciate love and life. She introduced me to the beauty of American Sign Language, and because of her passion for helping the deaf community, I have become interested in advocating for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Professor K, thank you for helping me see the beauty in life. You are my guardian angel. H. Chrisman taught me that perseverance is key if you want to succeed. And I learned that by rewriting his essays over and over and over again. And he is the reason for many of my achievements. Melanie Arpaio taught me the importance of learning. Learning is not about grades and awards. It's about what you learned and how you apply it. Her psychology classes helped me understand my past and how I can use those experiences to change my future. Scott Humphreys taught me to see the different side of things, not just the easy stuff. Like in his writing assignments, Now, I look deeper and with a different set of eyes at all the possibilities out there, not just the easy ones. Amy Rood taught me to be the best leader I didn't know I could be. I learned from her that being a leader is not about telling others what to do, but like her, guiding your peers along with you. Edward McCulloch taught me the importance of believing in your attributes. I never thought I could be a writing coach, but he saw that in me, and I will never forget, and I will forever be grateful to him for teaching me how to be a great tutor. George Lycap, he taught me that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. I will miss his talks at the Writing Center. His wisdom and his beautiful beads will be with me, with us. And those of us who are fortunate enough to have those magic beads, when you look at them, let them be a reminder that they have the magic to help us overcome any obstacles. Kathy Galicchio taught me to take risks. From the day I walked into her office, she put her trust in me. I didn't know what I was doing, yet I became a great SOAR leader because of her guidance. And Rachel Bayer, she taught me the importance of numbers, literally. She was my math tutor. And without her help, I would probably not be graduating today. So also, she taught me that it is okay to ask for help, even if people are not within your age range. We can all learn from each other. And my list goes on. But time is limited, right? So to all of you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work and for learning new ways to teach us while our country was going through a pandemic, especially our dear Rich Linden, who finally discovered the beauty of Canvas. We owe today to all of you and to all the graduates, especially those who I got to know more than others. Thank you for accepting me as one of you. It's not easy being a non-traditional student, but you all made my college experience one I will cherish forever. Now you go out there and shine and change somebody's life. Class of 2021, congratulations. We did it!
I now call upon the Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Kathleen O'Kay, to recommend the candidates for the Certificates of Achievement, the Professional Certificates, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Applied Science, and the Associate of Fine Arts degrees.
Will the candidates for the Certificates of Achievement, the Professional Certificates, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Applied Science, and the Associate of Fine Arts degrees please rise and remain standing? President Connolly, I present to you the candidates for the Certificates of Achievement, the Professional Certificates, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of Science, the Associate of Applied Science, and the Associate of Fine Arts, and I certify on behalf of the faculty that all candidates have successfully completed the academic or candidacy requirements for their respective certificates or degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority vested in me by the state of New Jersey and by the college's Board of Trustees, I confer on each of you who have completed the requirements in full the Certificate of Achievement, the Professional Certificate, or Associate degree, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Graduates, please be seated.
Colleen Elizabeth Badgerow. Adebayo Adebayo. Lindsay Azzopardi. James Joseph Finnerty. Julia Ball. Gianna Santiago. Marley Rhiannon Cameron. Ashley Lynn Dixon. Olivia Beatrice Fisher. Tiffany Solveig Domino. James Patrick Ditchko. Jacqueline Cole. Tamara Marie Bodenseek. Alexandria Ruth Bisanzio. Kate Bridget Finnegan. Jordan Andrew Costanza. Alyssa Tanya Fuller. Gabby A. Camizio. Devin Cossette Depew. Marguerite Ellicott. Jason Philip Dietz. Rebecca Elizabeth Bloomer. Miguel Camacho. Han Dihas. Amanda Lauren Cumin. Marcely E. Andrizi. Erica Lynn Healy Adams. Caitlin Balik Divine. Jillian Marie Christian. Kira Yvonne Angles. Nicole Elizabeth Andretta. Melissa Jean Fernandez. Brittany Kelly Curtis. Patrick Christopher Danielson. Matthew E. Danielson. Theodora Grace Eaton. Gotcha. All right. Jasmine Felice Molina Borgonia. Felicia Elizabeth Artrip. Emily DuPont. Selena M. Figueroa. Amy Rose Vira. Matthew Amadeo Barenfind. Nicole Andis. Miranda Cartagena. Olivia May Bidolph. Grace Elizabeth Becker. Heather Ray Cordero. Andrew James Livingston Buchanan. Gavin Birmingham. Victoria Paige Demarest. William A. Erickson. Rachel Christine Byer. Angel Alexandra Bernalis. This is easier than psychology. Ileana Mendoza Cobos. Samantha Cody Antonucci. Gotcha. Elise Del Gaudio. Sarah Kathleen DeLuca. Rhiannon Lee Bender.
William Janader. Connor Samuel Mitnick. Brianna Ashley Maurer. Destiny Bennett. Eric Joseph Forgy. Emily Mary Hollowak. Hannah Caroline Neal. John Robert Montana, Jr. Ryan Garrison. Noah Edward Metzgar. Kyle Paul Mosner. Haley Corner. Ariel Laura Keener. Violet Marie Jastrzebski. Danielle Marie Menta. Kyle Menta. Ricardo Lopez. Kristen Jones. Vanessa Henstebeck. Ryan Gregory Lloyd. Caitlin Rose McLean. Michael Gojic. Victoria Ann Martino. Gabriel Alexander Johnson. Tala bin Hassan. Melanie Rose Nasensick. Lindsay Jean Mulder. Victoria Marie Frisbee. Jenna Nicole Foji. Gabrielle Haggerty. Alexandria Elizabeth Gray. Noah Morancic. Julia Eveline Gajdoshek. Victoria Juliana Fox. Haley Noel Mayer. Richard Mayer. Amanda Villa Carlos. Matu Messikat. Leanne Rose Partahena. Gift Ingeber. Juliana Lynn Muraski. Nina Matullo. Ericelda Malay. Thomas Hazen. Coraline Nicole Kurz. Eva Jeanette Griffin. David James Sidney Hayslip. Ashley Carol Marie Jacobs. Brianna Nicole Hall. Caitlin Mayo. Elise Gabrielle Kastner. Kayla Marie Lutiero. Michael Xavier Markowitz. Lindsay Elizabeth Kopp. Callum Ross McCauley. Janai Nicole Mangone. Adam Blake Lagora. Lauren Marie Newnham. Aubrey Rose Gardner.
Nicole Verga. Taylor Danielle Pliley. Celeste Hope Fitzpatrick. Scott Ragubert. Christopher Michael Tominski. Isabella Marie Sherman. Alexandria Ann Sterling. Jacob Justice Cedar. Danielle Elizabeth Savarin. Maria Lou Perry. Zachary Augustus Sinan. Shayla Rose Traverso. Jessica Rose Poggi. Hunter B. Riker. Tiffany Pereira. Bianca Rosario Tortorelli. Carolina Sachno. Darren Reed. Jordalyn Lisbeth Taveras. Rebecca Lynn Shepard. Caitlin Yaki. Justin Anthony Shea. Ann Souza. Gustavo Enrique Souza. Ryan Charles Van Uland. Jason Daniel Cisco. Athena Marie Sadowski. Daniel Richard Sabat. Matthew Richmond Riley. Jessina Anais Valise. Joita Carolina Aminchka. Mariah O'Halloran. Joseph Christopher Navari. Megan Royce Rosenfeld. Emily Amelia Torres. Gabriela Roxana Rivera. Richard Schnur. Peter John Pasquiel. Amanda Nicole Ross. Andrew Waugh. Lana Marie Varkatapin. Suzette Villagomez. Brienne Parag. Chelsea Ann Van Dyke. Corey Sneinert. Rebecca Lynn Tops. Daniel Quinn Jr. Zoom Pham. Jorge Antonio Onfrey. Amanda Rose Ventre. Travis Joseph Zotnia. Sarah Catherine Slack.
Will the graduates please stand? As graduates of Sussex County Community College, you represent not only yourselves and families, but also the values of this county and this college. You've joined in the fellowship of lifelong learners and therefore are ambassadors for that which is essential to the preservation of our American Republic: critical analysis of problems, informed decision-making, and ethical action. May you also, as a county resident, in the words of Abraham Lincoln from his second inaugural address, show malice towards none and charity towards all in your private and civic works. And now, you may shift your tassels from right to left. Everyone, please join me in congratulating these new graduates.